Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather, and today is February 1st, 2023. That means we're just 2 weeks away to Valentine's. It also means that we're also about 2 weeks away from me and my husband's 10th anniversary. We got married on February 15th. There's actually a very long, funny story to that one, why it's the 15th, not the 14th. He asked me if I wanted to change the dates, and I said, no, I like it this way because then I got this story. But so I'm going to be making cards for my husband. So I bought these, so it's the card and envelope set from Dollar Tree, so probably $1.25, and I've got a couple of them here, and I didn't realize that these are the exact same ones. They had them in other colors, but this is all I have. This is all I could find. I'm still going through all my crafting supplies and getting everything organized, so I guess I'll be using the off-white color. I don't know, does it even say what color these are? No, it doesn't. Sometimes they'll tell you what the color is on some of them. And then last night I was at Dollarama and I found the cute little Valentine gnome stickers. So I'm going to use this one and this one. So these two here, the little two gnomes, a little boy and a girl gnome holding the little hearts. This one actually says love. This one doesn't say anything, but I'm going to put something in that heart. I also have some older sticker sheet things that I've got. I've had these for years. You can tell like those pet hair caught in them. So they've been around for quite a few years. So I got this heart set. I've got these ones here is the letters. And I think I have just enough to actually spell the word love. I'm not sure. I will double check that. I don't know if there's an O. Oh, I do see another O. I wasn't sure of that last night. I didn't know if there was another O. Because I always thought I can always just cut this little part off the Q to make an O, but holding it up I can see the other O. And I have these other metallic hearts here. These ones I've also have been used. These ones I bought probably last year or the year before from Dollarama for $1.25. See, these ones here, I'm not sure where these ones are probably from Dollarama, so they probably were in the same pack as these ones. These ones here I know came in something different. I know some kit that my kids had, some sticker set that my kids had. That was a big sticker package thing, and it came with a whole bunch of stuff. So this was just a leftover sheet that they never used up. I also have these because I wasn't quite sure what color I was doing or what I was going to make. So I also grabbed these. These are these craft stickers. This one is in the gold, and it's got a lot of like little sayings, you know, the love sayings in here in the gold. Friends and stuff, sisters, secrets. You know, it's got a whole bunch of sayings. It's got all the letters. And I also have it in the silver. Now, I bought these at Dollarama for $1.25. I've had these probably about 3 years now. I've hardly used any of them, but I do like these. They help with little sayings because I don't always have the neatest printing all the time. And then I do have these little packs of the mini paper, just because I wanted to give, you know, the front of the card something better than just the standard stock color. So it's that creamy, yellow, white, whatever you want to call it. So I've got these. These of course are the Christmas ones. So there'll be a lot in here that I can't use. These you get 24 sheets. You get 2 of each of the 12 designs, and these are 6.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And I paid $1.50 for these just at Christmas, and then I never got around to actually making anything out of them. Actually, I thought it was so cute because, so you got, I'll just do the first one. So some of them are foil, so this is the non-foiled one. It's really nice. And then the next page, if I can get it to turn, it's the foil, and it's got all the embellishment and everything, and it looks like the front of a perfect Christmas card. And there's a whole bunch of those in here. See if I can find another one. Oh, like this one too. Like even this, it's got this little tiny gold foil in here, and it looks like the perfect for the card. And it's a perfect size too. And let's see, is there any more on this one? No, I think that's it. I think mostly it is have this little thing, but there was one. Well, that one, but there was another one in here that I thought was a really pretty card as well, and I never got to actually making any cards, or I can even like even this, like, could have cut that in half and that'll be like the inside of two smaller little cards, you know, like, must have been this one. Is there one? Oh, see, like this one here, I thought that was a good one for a card, because then you've got all this room here to add your wording, like Merry Christmas or whatever you wanted to say. But there was another one that I really liked. Oh, this one, the deer, that was it. That one I knew was perfect for a card. And I just flipped through these, and that's why I got these, because I'm like, oh, I can actually, oh, then there's the little cabin in the woods, same thing. But, oh, or even like this one here, because it's got this little foil around here. And it just already like looks like the start of a card making easy. See, there's that one without the foil on it, and then there's the one which just has the tiniest little bit of foil around. And I just thought it'd be so easy, you know, for $1.50 for these little mini packs. And I do like these for any type of paper crafting that I do. So I was just finding them. Now I had seen the one, because I am making the Valentine's one, and it is for my husband. And so I'm just going to go through and see, because I don't want it too like Christmassy. I know, because these are the Christmas ones. They're kind of Christmassy. I had seen one that I thought I liked. Well, I like this zigzag, and I do like the foil one. So I think I'll make one of them with the foil. And then there was this other one here. I think it was in this brown one that I really liked, and I thought it would be, yes, this one here. I liked this one. As I don't have to make them shiny. I just have to, yeah, those are all just too Christmassy, too winter. But I can't find my Valentine ones. I know I've got Valentine scrapbook paper. I just couldn't find them last night. Like I said, I've been busy working on my craft room and my storage area. So I'm just going to open these cards up, or open this envelope up and grab one card out, just so I know what size I got to cut. Oops, come out. Just so I know what size I have to cut my... Oh, I always mess up on these, folding these. Which way do you fold them? Because it doesn't matter if you fold them. I don't know. When you've got them, it's like, well, do you fold them which direction? I don't know. I'm just going to fold it however it wants to fold. And I'm just going to quickly, oops, move the camera down here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to quickly measure this card just so I know. Oops, I gotta do this because the cards, when you fold it, you do get this overlap. So I gotta figure out. So it always bugs me. I think I fold it in half and then I get this overlapping. So I decide which I want as the front, which I want as the back. But because I want to make the card this way, because I got to write, you know, anniversary or Valentine's on here, my writing, I think I just get it, make it easier if I do it this way, because I haven't decided if I'm going to do stamps. So if I want to do stamps, I don't have my Valentine stamps. I couldn't find them. I will look for them in a little bit, because I'm not quite there yet. But, so I got to decide which way I want to make this. So I think I'll make one going one way and one going the other way, just so they're a little bit different. But I just need to know the basic measurement of, I have to do in centimeters. Centimeters is what I'm used to. So almost 15 centimeters, if that's right. Well, 14 and a half. I just got to get my ruler lined up. And, or I can also just make it really easy and just put this piece here. I like to make things easy. I could measure, but I can just lay this down, flip it over, and get this lined up kind of in the corner, and then take my pencil, which I just had. I just had a pencil. Oh, I've got a pen. And just do that. I just traced it, so now I know right where I have to cut it. Sometimes tracing is easier than trying to measure, and I'm going to do the same for this one. just lay this down on here. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't need it to be, you know, like that. And now I'm just going to grab my little cutting tool here, which I didn't realize, but it really is made by X-Acto. I've had this for quite a few years. I found this at one of the dollar stores one time. Line it up. So I like this because then, see, I'm going to cut just a little bit bigger than my line, only because when I go to glue it down, I need the extra little room. If it's too big, I prefer to trim at the end of it. And I really like this, so I can actually, one thing is, I usually try to get the paper in here where it's got the most of it where I can hold. Actually, this, I can actually trim this just a little bit more because I can see that it slid while I was trimming. But I like my paper trimmers. I've got a couple different ones. But this one is one of my favorite. I can trim that a little bit smaller. See, I said I don't trim paper with, I haven't used this one for a while. I just recently found it again. So I haven't used it for a while. I think the blade feels dull. And this little plastic piece just wants to kind of go over the edge, and I can just, right here. It just needs to get fixed. And also like this arm, I can't seem to lift the arm up when I'm trying to put the paper under. Oops, I should be able to lift the arm up higher. Oh, see, now I can. It's got something stuck in there, probably glue or something sticky. It is just sticky on the bottom. I know I haven't used it for a couple of years. It was just sitting somewhere in the basement, so it needs a good cleaning anyways. But now I've got these trimmed off. So now I'm just going to grab a glue stick. Let's see. Just going to glue this down. Like I said, I'm just trying to make, it's for my husband. Just a nice Valentine card. Go like this. I do see the overlap, which I will trim it down once the glue is dried, which I do like. I prefer trimming at the end, and then I get it a lot neater, and I can go around with my the actual little X-Acto cutting tool. And even here, like I can tell, like I've overlapped it up here too, so I'll be trimming that off, which is fine. I didn't mind. I liked making it, it's easier for me to make it a little bit bigger. I'm not somebody who measures exactly. I just kind of do mostly just a guesstimate kind of a thing. I don't really, and then this one, I think I'll do it this one. Yeah, I think I'll do that because this one here, I'll make this one open this way, and it has this little border here where the back one is a little bit, comes up just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch or something, or 1/8 of an inch. I don't know. I'm not very good at the exact measurements like that. But I think I'll have, oops, don't need that much glue. Yeah, I'll do this at the front, and then this will be the one that will open left to right. The other one will be the one that opens up and down. If that makes sense, what I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe once I get it, oops, I gotta get this. Let's open the card so I can get this lined up. I don't do card making often. I mean, I've got lots of card making supplies, but I don't make, it's been a long time since I've made cards. Like that. So this one will open this way. So I do have this little edge here. and then this one is gonna open this way. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for that glue to dry. I know it's just glue stick, so it's not gonna take long to dry, but I'm just gonna let that dry, and then I will trim that paper off. So now while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna find my little gnome stickers here and decide if they need any, what else I need to add. So see, this is just going to, like, it's just gonna be washed out kind of in this pattern. It's gonna really stand out on this one because they are shiny, but trying to get it to be on this one. So I'm going to make a little tag background for this one. So I'm going to set this one aside, this one here. Okay. Let's see, I'm just trying to figure out, is this the one I want to use? Okay, center it here. Maybe there. Oh, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball measuring. There, it's about the same distance. I just kind of want to get a little more this way. That's centered, so that one's just going to go right there. And then I do have this nice ribbon, so I'm going to use a piece of, I think I'll use the heart ribbon. I'm just going to put a border of the heart, just across the bottom here. And I will say this one, until I get my stamps out, and this one will be done. So I'm just going to find my scissors right here beside me. I'll trim this little heart here. I just want to go from one heart to the next heart. So right here. And this will just get glued right along the bottom. So that will be the start of that one. I just have to get my stamps and do my stamping and my signing on the inside. I just got to get my other glue because I didn't grab it. It's across the room from me. And then same with this one, because I want to make a little background here, a white cardstock. I got to go get my white cardstock. So I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, I had everything. I just didn't have it on my table. I had it across the room from me. So now I've got everything here. So I'm going to just glue this ribbon across the bottom here. I'm just going to use this all-purpose clear glue. I buy this at Walmart for, I don't know, between $3 and $3.50. I'm not quite sure because I've got the clear one and I got the white one, and I never remember the exact price of things if I don't have like the tag in front of me. So I think it's somewhere between just under $3.50. It might be almost $4 now. I'm not quite sure. But I like the glue. Actually works really good for most projects that I do. I also have, of course, the Arlene's or Aleen's, whatever it's called, in the brown bottle with the purple writing. That one I have. I love that one too. But I find most of the time this works just as good, and it's, you know, like a lot cheaper. I know the ribbon is just a little bit longer than this. I'll be trimming that off. That's why I wanted to glue the ribbon on before I did any trimming. Oops. And of course the ribbon's all crooked, so I'll get the ribbon straight. I got my hearts all lined up straight along the bottom. And then I'll be doing my stamping and be stamping on the inside as well. But that's all I want. It's just something very simple and easy. And I've got my, oops, maybe I'll just do that now. Got my little knife here. And just so I keep it more straight, I'm just going to put my ruler here and just follow the ruler. Of course, ribbon won't cut through the ribbon, so I'm just gonna trim the ribbon, and that just kind of moved that a little funny. So move that down a little. I just pulled it up. I knew I was gonna do that with the ribbon. That's why I wanted to trim this before the glue for the ribbon had dried. If I had to make any adjustments, I could make the adjustments. Okay. Again, that's just trimming off. Oh shoot, look at that. I just pulled the ribbon right off. Okay, well, I will fix that. The glue got stuck. Well, I kind of wanted to get this trimmed. What did I do? Am I gonna have to make a new piece of ribbon? Did I mess up? I don't know. I think I might just cut a new piece of ribbon. Might be easier just to cut a new piece of ribbon now that I've kind of messed that one up. I don't know, my knife just doesn't want to go completely through this all the way. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and just kind of trim it. It might just be the glue, having trouble trimming through the little bit of glue. There we go, it's now trimmed. I can just do anywhere I can see where it's just a little crooked. Okay, so now I've got this one done. Now I'm just going to a little piece here. Just there. One little piece just want to stand up. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to recut a piece of ribbon because I think I cut that funny. There. Now I'll let that dry before I trim the little parts that are just over the edge a little. Now I'm going to set this aside till I'm ready to do my stamps. And I did grab my container with some of my stamps. Actually, I think these might be mostly my Christmas stamps in here because that's what I was working on. But all my inks are in here, and I buy these at Dollar Tree for $1.25 each, something like that. Some I would have paid $1, some were $1.25, and some I just got some recently, so they're still sealed. So I will go through my stamps when I'm ready to do this one. So I'm going to set this one aside till I'm ready for stamps. Now it's time for this one. And because I really want this to pop, I've got a little piece of white cardstock here, and I'm just going to make a nice little tag kind of a thing. So I just got to see. Just want to kind of measure 4.5. 3.5 is kind of like the size of my sticker. I just got to go see why my dog is barking. Okay, my dog is not barking, so I'm going to work on this second card here. I've got this glued down, so I'm just going to trim this extra paper off of this one as well. Just trying to get my ruler turned around, so I've got this nice metal edge. I just don't know why this, sometimes I just can't seem to cut through the paper in one thing. Sometimes I have to do it a couple times. Oops. See, it's my cat under my foot now. Okay. I don't know. It's just not cutting all the way through, so I'm just going to use the scissors and just trim this off. It's gone through mostly, but it just has a couple spots where it just, I think I just need a new blade. Or it could just be, I don't know, just the paper is just a little bit thicker in that one spot. I don't know. Oops. There we go. Now I've kind of got this, oops, I'm going to put this lid back on or I'm going to cut myself. So the sticker I'm going to use for this one is this sticker here. So I'm going to stick it down on this cardstock just so it will have like a nice, actually before I do that, I'm going to cut this out first. I'm just going to do a 2" by 2" square. So first before I stick it so I can know where the center is. Center this on here just so then it has this nice white background, so it will just pop right off the card like that. And then I'm just going to, and I just want to kind of center this a little bit. So now I'm just going to grab my glue. Just going to glue the cards, this little cardstock down on top of there. Right, like that. So that's the front of the one card. And I just had, oh, and there's the front of the other one. So now I'm just going to trim this little piece of ribbon. Oops. It's on the front, just trim that off so it's a little bit neater. That. So there's the front of the two cards. Now, while I was, dealing with my puppy, I went and I found my Valentine stamps. So I got this one that says Valentine greetings, and I've got this one that's like a bunch of heart balloons. So these are the two I'm going to use. So I'm going to do it on the inside. So remember which one I was going to do for Valentine's and which one was going to be for the anniversary. And then I'm just going to find my inks here. Like I said, these are just cheap inks. I just bought them from the dollar store. I got these other ones here. They came with a special stamp set, and they're just really small and hard to use, so I like these larger ones. Pull these out. I do have more stamps and inks downstairs. I just want to use what I have up here in my craft room, easy to get to. So I think I'm going to open up the gold. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do this one here. I'm just going to take the stamp and I'm just going to press my ink all over here. Just going to make sure I get it on. It's hard to tell if I've gotten it on when these stamps are well used and all that extra ink is still on them. I'm just going to stamp it right here in this corner. And it's hard to see because it's like a very light gold, but I like that. It's just barely there, which is perfect because I don't really, you know, it's for my husband, so I don't need a big thing there, but I just like it. And I can go over with my marker and do a little bit more detailing in there, or I can go back over top with the stamp in a different color. And I'm just going to let that one dry. And on this one here, I'm going to do it in the red, oops, pink, the red. And I just want to get, it says Valentine greetings. I just want the word Valentine, which is one of the things when you've got these type of inks, if you can just line it up and just get the ink on this part of the stamp where you want the ink to be. So I just want to make sure I just get the word that says Valentine. So it just says Valentine right there. And that one just has those hearts. So I like that for now. So I'm just going to let this ink dry and let this glue on these cards dry. And I will be back to finish them up after I give those just a couple minutes to dry. Give me a couple minutes to go and grab my markers because I just wasn't quite sure what I was doing or how I was going to create these. And I can also go through and see what other embellishments, things I'd like to use. Like I still would like this to say, you know, not just Valentine, but I'd like it to say something else. And I've just got to find my other little stamps, which are still downstairs. And I don't think, let's see, so I've got all these stamps, and I don't think the Valentine ones are up here. I could be mistaken, as I've got a whole bunch. Family. Oh, there's my letter, so I do need that one because I do want to. Party, leaves, yeah, birds, just odd things. Like I just have all these. And these look like they will be like Christmas ones. I don't know if the Valentine ones are up here. So I said I'm just in the middle of redoing all my stuff. Oh no, my Valentine ones are here. Okay. See. Okay, I guess I do have some Valentine ones up here. Let's see, these ones are all, oh, that's more Christmas. And these ones, let's see, hard to read some of these sometimes. But this was another way I used to store my stamps, is just these page protector, like hockey card kind of card protectors inside binders. But I just found that the binders take up a lot of room. And so I find I just like to keep them on these. This is how I buy them from the dollar store. So each one of these packs was like about $1.50 for each one of these packs. And then I just keep them in one of these pull-out drawers. It actually saves a lot of space. And of course I have these that I also buy. I've got this one. I've got some other ones too. I'm not sure where they all are. There's different sizes in this particular set. This one here was from the Dollar Tree. So you got this larger one, and you got these like a medium-sized one and a small one. I like to use this larger one. It just makes it easier for me, and it just makes it a lot easier to line up everything, like line. So I kind of like these ones. These ones actually take up less room than all these big, I don't know where I put them, the big block stamps. Like how much room this stamp takes up versus how much room all these take up and this little thing. And I find it easy because then I can like put a couple small stamps together and to create a big page for a stamp. And actually this size stamp is actually perfect. It actually fits perfect when I'm doing card making. So I can get all my, I don't want to wreck that because this has not been washed off. It's covered in green ink from Christmas still. But it's the same size as the cards I make. So I can actually put all my stuff on here, ink it up in all the different inks, and then do one stamp and get my complete card done. It's been a long time since I've done card making. And that is something I just really want to get back into this year. Is back into paper crafts and card making. So I'm just going to go grab my markers and then figure out which stamps I want to use on these. And I also have stencils because I'm going to say I'm not the neatest, I don't have the best printing handwriting sometimes. So I do love these little stencils with the alphabets. And I mean, I even have this one. I don't know how long I've had this ruler for. I've had this one for a long time, like when I was in school. This is how old this ruler is. So my kids have used it and I still use it. You can see it's all chipping here, so it's not a perfect, it doesn't give a straight edge here anymore, but it's got all the letters and numbers, and I always love these because it makes it so much easier to space everything out, because it has, especially the ones that are on the rulers, because then you can just read, you know, like where every letter ends or starts. It kind of is spaced out. So much easier doing spacing than some of these other ones that don't have anything. Like this one kind of does have like around each little, I'll do it this way. It has a little guideline around each one. You can barely see the little guides, and you can kind of do some little markings, but I find it really hard to line up sometimes. But I can't find my better one. I've got a clear one like this, but it has all the, where I have actually taken the time and drawn the lines to make it easy for me to do the stenciling. So that is something I love stencils, and I love my stamps because it's makes it look really fancy and it's easy to do. And it really, I mean, people think you took a, well, it does take a long time to do the stenciling. So, you know, people think that you worked, you know, longer on it, but it makes everything so much neater. I really say, I really like the way the Valentine came out. This one, as it's drying, it's actually getting lighter, I think, or it looks that way. So I think I'm going to just go over top of this one with a darker color, just because you can't really see it. So I'm just deciding, let's see, it's in the brown. So I wanted to stick with that because this is black. Let me see, I just put a little bit of black on it and just try to re-ink over top of it, and then maybe go over top again with the gold. We'll see if that will work. I don't need to ink it a lot. I just want to define it just a little bit more. I kind of know where I had it. It's okay if it's not going to be centered perfectly. I mean, this is just for my husband. But oh, see, now you can definitely see it. And I think I actually lined it up pretty close. Okay. Now I'm going to put the gold back over top. This is one thing I do love. I love layering my inks colors when I'm doing some of these where it's hard to tell how light or dark your ink are going to be. Like I say, these ink ones, I mean, even though I haven't opened a couple of these, I bought these probably 4 years ago from the dollar store, so I don't expect them to be the best quality ink. Good enough for, you know, like a beginning craft or just having fun doing crafts. But if I was going to do anything like making crafts for selling, I would definitely invest in higher quality inks, although I do find these ones actually do work pretty good. Oops, see, then I get this really interesting double effect because I didn't quite line that up. I also had lots of black ink still on there. No colored ink showed up because I should have waited for that ink to dry. But like I said, it's for my husband. It's kind of got an interesting layered look to it. I'm just going to let that dry. That's what I should have done. I should have waited for the black ink to, should have wiped the black ink off, which is something you should do when you're changing, you know, colors. Make sure you wipe the inks off. Sometimes I don't do that, but I think it's okay because I can always just take this and just kind of get some gold in here. helps with the edge of this. There. I like that effect. It's kind of neat looking. So it really got a really cool 3D effect. It's not quite the way I wanted it to look, but you know, if you're gonna forget to wipe off the colors, then you're gonna end up with something like that. But I really tried hard to line up it in the same spot. Now usually if I'm doing this type of stuff where I have my wood block and I can't see it, I will actually put a little, you know, when I first put it down, and then I will draw a small little pencil line, and then the next time I go to pick it up and put it down, I'll follow the same pencil line. That's another reason why I love these clear ones. It's so much easier to go over top of them again. I'm just gonna set that aside. I just gotta wash my hands because now I've got ink all over my hands before I touch the next stuff, and I'm just gonna grab my markers, and then I'll be right back and we're gonna finish these cards up. Okay, I've got my hands cleaned up of the ink. I'm done with the ink right now, so I'm going to finish this one. So it says the Valentine. So I'm going to make it right. Just gotta find this. Okay, and I'm going to move my extra stuff out of the way. I'm going to find my letters that I had seen. Oh, here they are. Let's see, do I have? So these ones are just ones I just recently got. I've only used it once for Christmas. I'm gonna write be my. Where's the I? The I is gone. Uh-oh. I lost the letter I. Oops. Oh, there's it. There's the M. I don't need the I. I need the Y. Where is the Y? Oh, here. I did use these one time, so I just gotta. Tear these apart, and then I'll put these back on my little stencil page after. Okay, I'm just gonna. No, this comes off here. Shoot, how is this? Okay, there. So I just need the small one. I know it just supposed to slip on there easy. I just think maybe I'm just putting it in wrong. Can't seem to get this. Can't get that to go back on there. Supposed to just slip back into place, and I don't know what I did wrong. Okay, well, I got it back on that one, but that one's too big, so I'm just going to use this one without the little handle. And I'm just going to get the... This is what always tricky is, because I have to make sure I get the letters going the right way. I don't want to stick to this. Just got to get these straight or they're not going to be straight. Just don't want to stick to this tonight. Okay, I'm just going to grab the red ink, and I'm just writing a Be My and then the Valentine. Like this. So I get some red ink on these. I want to do this fast before it. There. Now it says, Be My Valentine. And then on the front here, I was looking at these little stickers that I've got. And I think I'm just going to stick one of these little red stickers. Was it the small one? No, I'm going to do the larger one. I'm going to use one of these larger red heart stickers just so this heart stands out a little bit more. Like that. So there's the front, and then there it says Be Mine, and then I'll write my husband's name and my name and the date. So I will do that after. And then we've got this one here, and this one will be for our anniversary. So now this one here, I'm not going to use the stamps because I'm having trouble getting these to stick tonight, and so I'm just going to use the markers on this one. So I am going to find my stencil. I just had them, so I'm going to use this blue one. It's got the smallest one. And I've got all my different thin markers here. Like I've got different ones. These look the same, but they're double-sided, so one side is thinner and the one side is thicker. I just got to figure out, see what color I want to use. I think I want to use a red. I just want to see what these black ones are. Oh, that's for writing on glass. Okay, so I don't want some of those ones. I got these other ones here. These ones here are fun. These make the 3D print because they're, you get the line of 2 inks in one. And I found those at the dollar store. Those were fun. I bought a set for myself and a set for my kids. But I think I'm just going to use this one here because it's just, I think it would be the thinnest one. And I think, yeah, this is the pen type. It works better. The pens work better with using these versus I can go over top with the markers. I'm just going to figure out where I want this to start. Now, for this one, because I want to be able to do this nicely, I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm just going to figure out where I want this to be. I think right here. And then right here. So I just drew 2 lines. It will help me keep things a little straighter. So this, I'm just going to write Happy Anniversary. Now, probably have to pause because I'm going to spell anniversary wrong if I'm talking and thinking of other things, but I'm just going to do the word happy and get this all spaced out. I do need my light on. I realized I didn't have my light on filming just now. It just got really dark outside and I just realized I kind of need the light because I can't. One thing is, if you're making these for family, I don't think it matters if your spacing isn't quite perfect. Like I said, sometimes if it's a little bit crooked or a little bit off center, and helps people to know that it was handmade. Now I've got to find my little markings in here to get the inside of those letters. I'm going to line this up. This is where it's always harder too, is just trying to get the inside of those letters. I don't see the little mark for the inside of the A. Should be a little triangle thing. I guess I'll just use that small circle again. Like that. So it says happy. And then I'm just gonna grab my red. I'm just gonna fill, oops, wrong side. I want to fill it in with the thinner side because then I've got more control. And I'm just going to grab my little black Sharpie here, and I'm just going to put a little dot in the middle of the A and a little dot in the middle of the P's, just so the centers of them just kind of stand out just a little bit, so like that. I got to fix that middle letter there, the P. It's just a little, not quite. Like that, okay. Says happy, and then I'm going to write anniversary in a moment. But while I've got this here, I'm just going to take this red and I'm just going to outline some of these hearts here. Just outlined some of those hearts in the red, and then I'm going to take I thought I had a gold. I don't have a gold that's not. It says it's glass marker. Let's see. Just kind of draw the strings kind of in the shiny gold, like that. I'm going to let that dry. And I'll be back when I get the anniversary written. And you can see what we finished. And so just very quick and easy, simple making cards. So I'm just going to get the word anniversary and then I'll be right back. Alright, I got the word anniversary written there, and I'm just going to grab an eraser and I'll erase this pencil line. Actually, I can't. This one's not going to work. I'll have to go get a better eraser, but I will erase that pencil line. And then I took the red ink and I got some red ink in here because I guess I still had some red ink on my hand and I touched this. So I thought, okay, right down here is where I had some ink on my hand. And I touched the paper when I was doing the stenciling, so I just added some red ink in here. Like I said, it's for my husband. If it was for anybody else, I would definitely use this and say it was a practice card and not give it out. But I might just take another stamp and just stamp something else right here. see, what do I have? Oh, this little cute little, I think I might just do that. This little Valentine envelope thing, just, oh, I got more ink on my hand. Do I want this one here? I guess so. Like that. And I think I'm going to add, I see this one here too. I like that one. This little heart one here too. I'm going to, this little heart one, and I'll do it up here. Do it up here in this corner up here. There, I'll do one up here in this corner. And I'll do one down in, oops, this corner. Like that. There we go. Like that. So if you make a mistake, just add more stamps or something, you know, just kind of fix your mistake. Like I said, the double thing, and I tried to trace over, and it just kind of, just, I don't know, looks like there's a lot of balloons now, and, you know, little hearts and stuff. So that will be, so that's the outside of it. And that's the inside. And then the other one, that's the outside. I do like it with this little jewel here. I was going to put a jewel on this one, but this one actually says love, so I'm going to leave that. Although I might add, I could add some like hearts up here if I wanted to, but I really like this. It's very simple for my husband. Same with this. It's just a very simple, basic card for my husband. And then inside it says, "Be my Valentine." I do really like this, but I saw this other one. Like this one here. I'll just put this below it, right like that. There. So now my cards are done. All I have to do is write my name and my husband's name and the date, and they are done. I mean, I could always do more stamping on here because I'm one of those people who, once I start stamping and stuff, I can just go over top. But I think I'm going to end it there. So that is my 2 cards. Now, there is a funny story, and I will say this because it's one of those things, and it's, okay, so me and my husband, we've been together now 14 years. We celebrated our 14th anniversary together in October, November, somewhere there. It was around Halloweenish, and then, so he asked me to marry him. Well, first he asked all the kids, and so I have 4 kids. So it was yes, 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 no. So my youngest said no, she didn't want to lose her mom. So that was funny. He had explained to her that, you know, she's not losing her mom, but, and then I had just gone through a divorce, and so when we were talking about, well, how do we get married? What do we need? What forms do we have to fill out and all that stuff? And they said, I need a divorce certificate. And I thought what I had from when me and my ex, when we got divorced, what was in those papers was good enough. And no, they need the actual divorce certificate, which is, I think, $50 to $75, somewhere in that price range. I forget what it costs. You know, it's legal document, so $50 to $75 is usually what it costs, you know. And so we were filling out all those forms, getting that all done, and we were in the office, and so we were in her office filling out these papers. She was going to help fast track everything, and I don't know how to, so my husband, he asked her, he's like, oh, so do you do marriages? And she's like, oh yeah, she's a GP, JP. a justice of the peace. So yes, she can come and do, you know, the marriages. And so we said, okay, well, we'd like to get married, you know, like in our own home. So we were looking at the calendar, and my husband, you know, he doesn't do Valentine's, he doesn't do holidays, he doesn't do any of that stuff. He said he did when it was important, when he was a lot younger, but he hasn't really, you know, and as his adult life didn't do any of that stuff. And so we're sitting in her office, and he said, okay, well, because at this point my kids were spending like every other weekend they were with their dad. And so we had to figure, okay, we're going to get married on a Friday, that way the kids can be home for it. So we had to plan for that Friday. And so we looked at the calendar and said, well, they're gone this week, but they'll be back. You know, they're home the following week, and then they'll be back. They'll be with their dad, and they'll be back. So he's like, okay, what about 2 weeks from this Friday? And so she looked at the calendar, so she booked that. So she booked that 2 weeks from that Friday. And so that happened to be February 15th. And we get home, and I'm writing stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty close to Valentine's Day. We're getting married, you know, the day after. And he said, well, we can, you know, a couple days later. And I was saying, yeah, too bad, you know, like we didn't get married. We're not getting married on the 14th. And I was like, well, we can always call her and change it. And I said, oh no, this gives me a story, and it really says the type of person who you are. Like, he plans, and he doesn't look at the calendar. He's like, okay, we're getting married 2 weeks from this Friday. And that's how our wedding date was chosen in the office while I'm trying to apply for my divorce certificate and apply for our marriage license, talking to the JP in her office. And that's how the February 15th came for our for our wedding date. That's how it was booked. And he's like, well, we can always call her back and change it. And I said, no, it's okay. This is the type of person you are. This is my story of how we got February 15th. Because some people say, oh, they got married on the 15th because the 14th was already booked. They couldn't find anybody who was able. I said, well, no, not for me. For me, it was just my husband looked at the calendar and said, okay, well, the kids are home that weekend. Okay, let's get married that weekend on the Friday. So that's how our date was chosen. So I said, so 14th and 15th are always important dates for our family. So we do, you know, Valentine's Day and my anniversary. So when I get gifts for either one of the days, I'm like, I don't remember. I feel so bad because I said, my husband got me stuff for Valentine's Day and our anniversary. And I said, because one's one day, one's the next day, you know, I can't remember exactly which day, which gift it was for, because he'll get me earrings. And so I said, well, I got 3 pairs of earrings, but I got 2 for anniversary, 1 for Valentine's. And I'm like, sometimes I can't remember which ones were for which, or rings or anything, or necklaces, or little charms and stuff, or candles. I'm like, well, I don't know. He got me a couple candles. I don't remember which exact fragrance was for Valentine's Day and which ones was for our anniversary. It's hard to keep track over the last 10 years that we've been married. That's hard to believe too. But so that's my story of how my anniversary is February 15th. And so again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. Oops, my rings are hitting the glass cutting board. Again, just thank you so much for everybody who subscribed to my channels, watching my videos, and I'll see you all in my next videos. Bye.